Hello, 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 family. I hope everybody is well. I know this is super early. It's like 5 o'clock in the morning. So a lot of people are probably still asleep in the States, but it is 2 o'clock here. Well, about 1:45. Okay. And we're like, what, 9 hours ahead, you guys? But yeah, wanted to come to you guys. And I wanted to mention something that a lot of people I don't hear talking about, okay, on YouTube, and want to give you guys some pointers and some tips because I've done it. I'm here, and I've talked to a lot of people, and talking about finances, talking about moves, talking about stuff that we were not you don't think about. Okay, people say, okay, move, move, move out of the United States, right? I get it. People have been saying that, but they're not telling you how to prepare. They're not telling you what you need to make that move. And a lot of people just moving and not understanding about the visas. You're not understanding about the residencies. You're not understanding about a lot of stuff that goes on in these different countries that a lot of people aren't talking about. And I don't know whether they're not talking about it, but I'm going to talk about it today. Um, because a lot of people are just picking up moving, and they're either not prepared or don't have enough money, or they was just told to get up and move without really preparing, okay, for the move. They may have just enough money to do the move, but not enough to sustain, or just enough money to move, but not thinking about what the country is going to want to see when you get there. Okay. A lot of people are moving to these countries and not understanding that a lot of countries want you to make a certain amount of money. Okay. But if you're on disability and you've moved, and you're only making $1,000, but you're in a country that says, okay, you need 1,500. What are you going to do? You understand what I'm saying? So that's where we're taking this conversation today. Okay, because I have friends, and I've been talking to people, and I have one friend in particular who was trying to move to Africa, and her and I was talking, and she's on disability, and she was saying, "Hey, I want to come. I want to come where you are, and I want to come, or not just here, but I want to move." And I said, "Well, have you thought about?" Because I know she's making only a certain amount of money, and I asked her. I said, "Well, have you thought about as far as uh, have you done investigating, or have you really looked into countries that are that are going to accept you on what you are bringing in, okay? Or do you have an idea of how you're going to add to what you're making, or add to your income, okay? Because I know disability in America is really what, $1,000, $900, just depending on what you make. But if this country is saying, hey, you need 1,000, you need 1,500, you need 1,200, how are you going to make up the difference? And how are you going to prove that, yeah, I have enough money um, to be able to sustain? Because they want to know that you can sustain yourself. They're not like other countries, like America, I should say. They're not like America to say, hey, come over here and we give you EBT. Come over here, we're going to give you Social Security. Come over here, we're going to give you, we're going to pay for your rent for 6 months. Or come over here, we're going to give you a car. No, that's not happening in some of these other countries. They're saying you need to come and be ready, equipped to take care of yourself, to be able to eat, to be able to survive, to be able to supply yourself with your own needs. And some countries are not allowing you to open up a business. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. No. If you're retired, I should say, some countries aren't going to let you come in and put a business in that country. If you are retired, they'll say, okay, if you're retired, then you can't open up a store and get that country's money from the different people in that country. Okay, so we have to look at everything when you're moving. Investigate that country. Investigate. Make sure that you're going to be able to get your visa. Make sure you're going to um, um, be able to sustain yourself. It doesn't take a lot of money in these different countries, but nobody's talking about that you need a certain amount of money, even though it's not going to take you $1,500 to live in a country. Um, but they still want you to be able to show that you have that much money, okay? That you have that monthly, okay? You can't, just come over here on $1,000 and say, okay, well, I have 1,000. My rent is just 400 or 300 or whatever your rent is, and then they're looking for that 1,500. So that's what I want us to really look at today. I want us to really understand when they say, hey, you need to either have $15,000 in the bank, or you need to be making 1,500 a month, or you need to have 24,000 in the bank, or you need to be bringing in $2,000 a month. What does that mean? That means just what it says, okay? And a lot of people are not understanding that. Make sure that where you're going, like if you're going to Kenya, if you're going to Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, make sure that that country is not corrupt, okay? Talk to a lot of people, and I'm not even putting it out. I'm not saying that it is. I'm just saying make sure that you are in an expert group and you're talking to them and asking those questions about the corruption in that country. I've known people to give monies to different countries and they still don't get their visa, or they still don't get their residency. I'm just, trying to um, just, this is what I've been told. But I want you to get into some of those expert groups, get in some of those groups and talk to them about how did they get their visas, how did they get their residency, how hard was it, and what strings did they have to pull. Was it about who you know? Was it about what you know? Was it about money? Was it about you giving them that extra little coin to get what you needed, or was it fair and were you able to just get what you needed? Okay. We are not understanding or thinking ahead, making sure that, if you have $5,000 or $10,000, make sure that even when you get into that city, that you're being very frugal with your money. Okay. You have a lot of stuff that you don't know. And for example, myself, I'm gonna tell you, when I got here, I got a ride from the airport, and I paid $70 for my ride, not knowing that it should have only been 40. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying by just being very, get in those expat groups, get in those groups and ask those questions about, hey, who did you guys use? What is the amount of money I should be paying coming from the airport to get to the Airbnb? Or what did you need? A lot of people are going to tell you that a lot of times you're going to need a return ticket. Okay. So you order your return ticket, to, even though you're coming back, but have that ticket out like 6 months out. Okay. Because you can get, especially if that country is saying, hey, you can get a visa for 6 months. Okay. Make sure you have a ticket that's at least 6 months out, so that therefore you can be able to catch another flight somewhere else, and it don't have to be back to the States. It can be maybe to Nigeria, Nairobi. It could be not Nigeria, Nairobi. It could be to Nigeria, could be to Tanzania, could be Dar es Salaam. Just make sure that you have a ticket 6 months out. Make sure that that ticket is flexible to where you maybe not be able to get a refund, but you can change it. So if therefore you did a 6 month ticket and now you need to change it because you're going to be there for a year, make sure that that ticket is changeable so that you'll be able to. And I go through Priceline. Priceline is a great place to go because they honor, that. You'll be able to change your ticket. You just make sure that it says that on your ticket that you'll be able to exchange. You may not be able to get a refund, but you will get a credit. Okay. So therefore, if you don't use that ticket in 6 months, then you could use it in a year. Okay. Also talk about money and how it exchanges. When I first got here, I didn't understand the money. It was different. Uh, and sometimes people would be trying to give you the tourist price. And no, you have to say, hey, I'm not a tourist. Don't be giving me the tourist price. Give me the Kenyan price, or give me the Guyana price, or give me the Gambia price. Don't give me the tourist price. You have to let them know. Sometimes you have to call people out, and they know what they be doing. And sometimes they know that you don't know. Don't go in acting brand new. Don't go in acting like you don't know. Don't go in, you coming from the airport. Find out and talk to your expats before you get here, and begin to understand the culture and begin to understand how it goes. Okay. Taxi, how much is a taxi? What's a good price you should be paying for a taxi? Because sometimes you'll get in a taxi And I always ask before you get in, how much? Seriously, because if the taxi is only $2, but they know you're coming from the States, they'll say $5 or $6. Okay, thank you. No, thank you. Go to the next taxi. Give me the price for the Ghanaian price. Don't give me the tourist price. You have to mention that. You have to say that. Or and then sometimes even working with different realtors and you'll tell them that now I'm gonna tell you what. I didn't get me a realtor until I got here. I don't believe in getting realtors, seeing properties online. I don't believe in, putting money on a property that I've not seen, because you don't know, for one, what area it's in. You don't know anything about that property. You don't know. One property I went to was really creepy inside, and thank God that I didn't, go forward with that, because I felt like it was something in the atmosphere. And if you're a feeler, I can tell, some atmospheres, honey. I could walk in some places and be like, oh my God, what in the world? And that was one of those properties where I was like, oh my God, what in the world happened here? And I would have been able to stay there because it felt so yucky. And I know people be like, what is she talking about? Don't worry about it. If that went over your head, don't worry about it. It's not for you anyway. But it's some people that understood what I just said. That statement was for you. So you don't meet people online and they'll give you a picture of the place, and they give you all these hopes and dreams, and then when you get there, then you'll look at that place and be like, what in the crap did I just do? What happened? What this is not the picture. This is not what they said. This is not it. What may not be anything, because you have realtors that are trying to make money. Okay. And some are lacking integrity. And I'm gonna tell you, when I first got here, I went through several realtors because I didn't like their how they were greedy. Okay, I told them that this is what I'm paying, and some said, "Oh, you're not going to be able to pay that here." Okay, then you're not the one I need to work with. You know how I am. I'm very strong willed. I am. If I say what I mean what I say. If I go to a store and I say, "Hey, I want this," and you try to show me something over here, I'm gonna bring you back to this over here and say, "I didn't ask you about that. This is what I asked you about." You're gonna have to be like that when you come to different areas, because they think that you stupid. They think, no, I shouldn't even say that. I take that back. They think that you just don't know what you want because you are in a foreign country, but you still can run business the way you run business at home. Don't come in another country and act brand new like you don't know how to do business, like you don't know. Yes, it's different. It's a different area, but it's still people are people, and you want to stick to your guns, and you want to say what you say, mean what you say, and don't allow anybody to tell you what you want when you've already told them this is what I'm looking at here. And I remember one store me and my daughter went into, because she did come down for Christmas, and one store we went into, and I showed something we were looking for, and she was over there with the young lady, and they were talking, and my daughter was like, okay, we're not going to do it, let's go, blah blah blah. And I said, what happened? Because it was something we were looking at. And she said, well, the girl said that they didn't have that, but she was trying to show me something more expensive. And I said, okay, we're not going to talk to her. So I talked to somebody else and got an even better deal. See, so you have to, but let me tell you what, even with that individual, it's two individuals, even with that individual, he was trying to show me something that was more expensive. And I looked at him and I said, this is how we're going to do it. Okay. This is what I want. This is what I need you to tell me about. Don't talk to me about anything else but what I just asked you about. Then he understood what kind of person I was. Okay. So you do have to be strong. You do have to be boisterous. And you have to let people know that I'm not a pushover. I know what I want. This is what I want. I don't care how you shop. I don't care how you have been doing business. This is how I'm going to do business. And this is what I want. And this is how I expect you to operate, because I am spending money. And if you want my money, this is how we're going to do business. Okay. So you have to stick to your guns and know that, you're going to have all kind of people that you're going to run into, but stick to what you know. If you don't know about that, you go research it and you come back to them, or you research it and tell them, I'm not moving on that forward. I'm not doing that right now. I'm doing this over here. And anybody that's not on this ticket, will come back to that ticket later, but this is the ticket that we're working on now. So I wanted to put some tips out there, some pointers out there to help you to understand that you're gonna hold on to your money as tight as you can, because they look at Americans as ballers, okay? And I keep telling them, look, black folk work hard for our money. I don't know about some other folk, but black folk, we work hard for ours, and I don't tend to give a mine easy. Okay, it's got to make sense. If it don't make sense, we're gonna keep walking. Okay, because if I go in the store and you bombard me and you're not giving me an opportunity to look at things, and you're, oh, madam, da da da, let's look at this. Excuse me, back up. Let me look, and I'll come to you when I need something. Okay, when I want something, when I'm ready to buy, because they will bombard you. But this is the you have to understand when you're dealing with a certain type of people that don't have a whole lot, and they look at you and you see money, or you see where. Oh my God, I can get a little extra out of her. I can get a little extra couple dollars, or I can get a little extra five, or whatever. No, and a lot of times I don't buy if the price is not on it. Okay. And a lot of these stores, they will write the price on it, and you just have to figure it out. Get your little calculator out, and you go whatever country you're in. What is that in USD? Okay. So they have, for instance, 600 Indian rupees, or Ghanaian, whatever the money got, whatever money is called in the different places you go. You're gonna say what is whatever money in USD, and it'll break it down and tell you what that cost is for real, what you're paying. What you might be paying is, you might think is, oh man, that's really super cheap, but then it may be a salad that you paid for, like I did, for $12, and I'm like, whoa, I paid $12 for a salad, but I didn't know it until after I added it up, and I was like, whoa, that was an expensive salad. So no, we don't go to places like that. We go to where we can get a reasonable salad. You understand what I'm saying? So in different areas, do different things, but just want you guys to be prepared and thinking ahead, and just trying to give you some tips on things that you need to be thinking about that you might not be thinking about. Because I know some places will charge you month's rent, month's security, and then the realtors will charge you a VAT fee, which is a tax fee, which is a finder's fee. I call it finder's fee. They call it VAT fee, which is a finder's fee, and it's the same as rent. So that means if you're paying 500, that means 500 for the deposit, 500 for the rent, and then 500 for the realtor. Okay, so that's $1,500. Okay, so people say, oh, well, you can get around that by knowing the owner and talking to the owner, and a lot of times not going through the realtor. Okay, but a lot of times these apartments you don't know, because they're on the realtor's website. So, but if you're in an expat group and you talk to the owner, and the owner say, hey, yes, I live here and I'm offering da da da, then you can get with that owner and kind of work some things out that way. Okay. Trying to think. Riding a bus. I have a funny story. When I first got here, I was on the bus, and I told the person, I said, I want to get off at this street, blah, blah, blah. Let me just say one thing. Customer service is lacking in some places. Okay. And sometimes you have to check the behavior. Or sometimes just if you don't feel like it, you just be like, whatever, and keep going. But this one day I got on the bus, and I said, and I was just new, didn't know what way I was going, but I was learning, and I was trying to figure it out, and I was just going to ride the bus that day. But I was trying to get back home because I had already, been to the beach, and I was, trying to get back home. And I got on the wrong bus going the wrong way. And I told the guy, I said, hey, I'm trying to get off on this street here. And he said, okay, have a seat. So we were riding, but I knew that when I had rolled the bus up there, we only rode like maybe about 4 or 5 blocks, right? But this bus was going, and it was going, and I was like, hold on, we didn't been like 10 blocks. And this dude ain't said nothing. I said, wait a minute. I said, sorry. I said, I told you I was going to this stop. I said, did we pass my stop? He goes, oh, get off at the next stop. The next stop ended up being like 30 minutes down the road, okay, for me to walk back, right? So let's just, be, ask questions. If, sometimes people, be a little short, but it's okay. Let them be a little short, as long as you get the information that you need. And when I got off the bus, I put up my GPS and I looked, and where I was supposed to go was going the opposite direction. So of course I had to walk all the way back, 30 minutes back, but it was okay because I do a lot of walking now. I'm getting my little exercise, so I do a lot of walking. Okay, so it's okay. But just when these are just different things, small things, nothing major. Haven't had any major anything. Just nothing. Just living life and just enjoying. And that's what you do. You don't come here trying to bring America here. You come here trying to be free, get healed, in your mind and in your heart, because a lot of stuff that happened in America, you will bring it to the next destination, but you have to on purpose When I say on purpose, you have to on purpose get out of that American mindset that everybody's trying to mistreat you, everybody is racist, everybody is being hard, they're being vindictive, they're trying to get over on you, they're trying to take. You have to change your mindset because you don't want to bring America to where you are and you act like an American in another country. Don't want to do that, right? So that takes you, actively remembering and actively being more conscious of your environment, being more conscious of your mindset, being more conscious of what's coming out of your mouth, and being more conscious as far as your thought pattern, and being more conscious as far as the way we thought in America. You don't want to bring that somewhere else and think that same way. You want to really unconscious be more aware of your thinking and be more aware of uh, that you're not thinking like you would have thought in America, because they were coming to you as that certain type of way. They were coming to you as being racist. They were coming to you as being rude. But you have to understand different people have different cultures when you go to a different place. So some people are not trying to be rude. That's just their culture. So you have to stop being so sensitive. And I'm learning that, and not taking things so serious. Okay. Calm down, relax, and enjoy your stay. Enjoy where you are. Enjoy who you are. Enjoy your environment. Enjoy the newness of your new place. Just enjoy the newness of this new world that you've just experienced. I want us to start just thinking ahead and understanding what's really important and how we need to start thinking about where we are. And like I said, don't come here or don't come and move to another country. Bring your Americanized mindset with you. Yes, it's going to be hard in the beginning, but like I said, you on purpose, consciously trying to get rid of that, get over that, get healed up of that, and know that everybody is not out to get you. You're going to think that in the beginning, but you have to just look at the situation, slow down. If it don't make sense, it don't make sense. Ask questions. If they get irritated or agitated, then the deal's off, or you're not moving forward, or you're gonna walk away. Okay. I don't want you guys to get in another country and act like it's brand new. No, people are people. They gonna still try you. The taxis gonna still try you. They see Americans as you balling. And you have to get them straight. Like, look, everybody ain't balling like that. White folks is balling, okay? And white folks balling. But I worked hard for mine, so you're not getting it that easy, okay? So I just wanted to come to you guys just to give you a little bit on what to beware of, how to think, what to think, how to look at different situations, and just making sure that you have your ducks in a row, you got your monies together, you just not picking up with just $2,000 that you got, at least 10, 15, $20,000 to have some money to splurge, to be able to spend and do what you need to do, that you're not just coming over here and barely making it. No, we don't want to do that. We're not doing that. No. We want to make sure that you are ready for this experience. Okay. And do your research to understand about your visas. Do your research to understand how much it's going to cost you to get that visa, how much they want to see in the bank, how much do they want to see you monthly, how much you bringing in monthly, making sure that you are meeting those criteria, making sure that you are you ready for this new experience. Okay. It's a great experience, and make sure that you're putting things in place. So if you are on disability, maybe you can come in another environment and create your own business. Create a product that you can sell, create a journal, put you a journal out there now, put you a book out there now, put you a planner out there now, so that you can start selling that on Amazon, so you can start making your USD money. Okay. Like I tell everybody, have a book, I'm getting a journal, have a planner. So there are things that I have in the works and some other stuff that I'm working on also. So you're just making sure that you are going to make your money happen for you. Okay. That you're not just going to sit there and, hope and pray things fall for you. No, you got to create some things, create your business. Within your heart what your gift is, right? Operate in your gift. Don't come to another country and just sit around. Create your business. Create what works for you. Say, for instance, you're a good cleaner and you really enjoy cleaning. Create that cleaning business. Okay. If you say, for instance, you really like dog pet sitting, okay, create your own business by Start pet sitting. Create your own. What, you're a baker? You like baking cakes? Okay, start baking. Come here and bake. You may have a different taste than anybody else here. Yours may not be as sweet, or you may have diabetic treats, or you may have stuff that's sweeter, or have a different taste. Create it. You don't just sit there and be, oh my God, what can I do? Your gifts will make room for you. If you are a baker, if you can cook soul food, they're not used to macaroni and cheese here. They do a lot of a lot of Chinese food. They do a lot of rice, do a lot of noodles. They eat a lot of bread. I mean, bread, baked. And I'm talking about fresh bread where you could smell it being baked in the store. And I'm not a bread person, but I'm like, whoa, what in the world is that? And it smells so good. You just want to go there and gobble up all the bread because it's fresh, and get that butter, pat that butter on, and you just, But I've never been a bread person, but I'm telling you what, I go in some of these stores and I'm telling you that butter, that bread be smelling so good. You just want a whole plate of it. You just want to sit there and say, hey, give me the hardest piece you got and give me some butter. And I'm going to sit here for a while, right? But you have gifts, okay? You have gifts. So start thinking about, maybe you're a herbalist. Maybe you have some, some herbs that you want to get together, and you want to start creating some herbs, putting herbs together where you can, get a couple products together, or that you could sell. Okay, put it online and start selling. Start making your money from the States. Okay, even when you're here, you can put it on that you could sell it. You can get you a tent, and you can get out in the mall. You can get outside. A lot of people are outside selling their meals, selling their bread, selling their cakes, selling their meals, selling everything. Okay, just think of something that you can do, that's going to help you to maintain and to be able to survive. Okay, where you're going. Okay, I'm not trying to be on here long, you guys. I'm just, wanting to just bring something to light to you guys, and wanted to get you guys to start thinking outside the box. I know a lot of people want to move. I know a lot of people don't know where to go. But there are places out there that are amazing places, beautiful places, safe places, and a lot of places you guys are sleeping on, because that's all you know is Kenya, Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Rwanda. There are other places out there that's more beautiful, safer. I'm just saying, and that's gonna be a treat. It's gonna be, you get up every day, you see the beach. You get up every day, you see the mountains. You get up every day, and it's nice and warm. And you get up every day, and you're like, oh my God, how did I get, this place is heaven on earth? How did I get here? And I look at where I am. I look at that. I look at that place like that. It's a dream come true. It's heaven on earth, and I love everything about it. But I wanted to come to you guys just to, kind of make you aware of some things that you need to be thinking about before you make that move to move. Okay. Make sure, like I said, if you come here, say for instance, you have a house to sell. Okay. Go ahead and sell that house. And why am I saying that? Because where you go could be a cheaper house and a better house. And you can use that house as maybe an Airbnb, or you can use that house, the second house, or you can get you a really nice house, and you'll have money in the bank to show, to be able to get your residency, or you'll have enough money to be able to get something nicer, cheaper, and instead of you paying $2,000 and $3,000 for mortgage, you could possibly only pay 500 or 600. Okay, maybe 900, just depending on the property that you choose. Just depending on the property you choose. So let's not think, oh my God, I got to keep this house and make, the American money, because you can make American money anywhere you go. You can make French money, euros. You can make, you could make money anywhere you go. So don't just think about American money. People all over the world will come to Africa. So just don't think about, oh my God, American money. You're going to make money regardless of whatever kind of business that you have, long as it's a service, it's a product, it's something that people need and they want. Okay, mostly a service. Just like I said, you can come over here and get you a cleaning business. I'm just saying that's really a good business. You got a lot of Airbnbs over here, so maybe you might want a cleaning business. You might get you a team together, and you going around cleaning houses. You might, like I said, you might want to get together and have a dog park, or you know, just think outside the box. You might come over here and want to be a virtual worker. You might come over here and create you a virtual assistant website, and get some people from here to work for your virtual assistant business. And you can offer that business in America. You have the connections in America. There are things, so many things that people can do, and people are not even thinking about how can I live outside of America. Okay. Then a lot of people have not moved outside of America because you guys are afraid of you guys are just afraid, and just don't know what to do. Or I'm gonna put you guys up. Oh, that's kind of dark. So no, can't do that. Yeah, I'm gonna try this. And you guys are just afraid of just thinking outside the box, and possibly afraid of moving because, oh my God, how am I gonna eat? How am I gonna do this? And you have to think outside the box sometimes. If you know that America's getting really dangerous, why would you stay there? And why would you continue putting yourself in danger, knowing that you got a food in office right now, and that fool is fight. He is starting to fight with everybody. It is time for you guys to move. It's time for you, and if you feeling that, it would just behoove. It behooves me of you knowing that you need to get out, and you're still there. It just blows my mind how so many people know that they need to leave, and they are still in America. Just scared to move, scared to do anything, scared to breathe, staying stuck in this abusive relationship with somebody that don't care anything about you. I'm just saying, it is time for you to do your heart's desire. If your heart's desire is to move, put some things in place and do just that. And I'm not even saying do it today. It may take another year. It may take 6 months. Maybe some of you guys have already started moving. Continue your journey. Continue putting things in place, and maybe some of you guys might be traders. Okay, day traders. You can do that from here. You can do that from anywhere in the world. Maybe you have a job where you're working remote. You can do that from anywhere in the world. Okay. But yeah, just think about how can, or what is it that you need to do in order, excuse me, Lord, excuse me, in order to make your dream come true. Okay. But hopefully this video has helped you guys to understand what needs to be done and what things you need to have in place in order to be successful, or the move successful, when you move successful, so that you don't be so stressed thinking about how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do this, how I'm gonna do that, and you just have your eggs in a basket, have your basket ducks in a row, so that you'll be able to make this move successful for yourself. Okay, so I hope I've helped you. I'm trying to think of anything else that I would think about. Um, One thing that I wouldn't do, I wouldn't pack up a whole trailer full of stuff. I wouldn't bring a whole bunch of furniture, because a lot of these places have furniture already. They have their furniture, your part is already furnished. Um, I wouldn't bring a whole trailer. I wouldn't bring a car, because like where I am, they drive on the right side and you're on the left side. You drive on, yeah, the driver's on the right side, but in the States, you're driving on the left side. So that, to me, don't do that. You can always get a car after you sell everything in the States. Wait and hold on to your money and buy you a car wherever you're going. Don't bring a whole bunch of furniture. Don't bring your, your old grand piano, or your old organ that you had for 20 years has been sitting in your corner in the house that has dust on you. Blow the dust off of you and dusted it down. Now you get ready to bring it, and it's getting ready to bog you down to your new next destination. Get rid of some of that stuff. Some of that stuff you can get rid of and repurchase it when you get here. I would not do a whole lot of shipping of stuff. I would, because by the time you pay taxes and shipping fees and VAT fees and all these fees and fees for this and fees for that and fees, that product, whatever it is you're trying to bring, that couch or that bike or that car, is not even going to be worth it. Because I was thinking about bringing my bike, right? I wanted to get my bike, I wanted to bring it here. That thing is going to cost me $4,000 to $7,000. You think I'm going to do that now? Oh no, I'm not doing that. And that's just the basics. They didn't even give me a real good price on that. That was just, and then you got to do a whole lot of other stuff. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. It's just easier, just to repurchase another one, when you get here, whenever you get to wherever you're going. Trying to think of anything else that, and if you guys have any questions, when you see this video, because I know it's early and a lot of people aren't up yet. But when you see this video, if you have questions, go ahead and and tag me in those questions. Ram of the Bush, Ram of the Bush at gmail.com. That's my email. Okay, so if you have any questions, just go ahead and text me. Go ahead and write me, and I'll be more than happy to answer them. But yeah, if you have, I hope you got something out of this video. But with that said, I'm going to end because I don't want to just ramble on. I want to make sure that what I'm saying is going to be relevant to help you to make a better decision as far as where and what you want to do and where you want to go. All right, with that said, y'all have a great day and bye for now.